I tried to make it look like, you know, where you'd have those natural creases at certain parts. So I'm just going to go ahead and make the other hand, and I won't go through that. I'm just fitting it right now. I learned my lesson. I need to fit it first. I'm hoping we can get more done with Frankie today. I made him pants already, if you remember. So I'm trying to make him a shirt, and I decided to make him a polo shirt since I made him dressier types of pants. So he comes out looking kind of handsome in the end. But this is what I'm doing here, is I am trying to fashion a polo shirt for him. And it actually does turn out good, but we've got a lot to go through, so I will kind of go to the end here because I'm probably not doing it the way that most people would. I don't know, but I'm pretty much wrapping him in this in the way a polo shirt would fit, or that I think it would fit. And so you can kind of see what I'm doing here so far. There I'm cutting the V-neck. And yeah, it does take a little patching, but actually not too bad. Okay, you can see I'm working now on getting the shirt kind of sewn together, I guess. Not really. It's just, but getting the back of it on, and so I'm cutting the V for the neck. But it's just a matter of fitting, and it's not sewing, it's sculpting, but still it's a matter of putting pieces together in the right way. So in that sense, there's not a lot of difference. But I got to talking about how I had made my son a polo shirt once. I didn't try it again. I got it done. It was nice, but oh, those things are a lot of work. So if you look at the bottom of the shirt, you will see that I went ahead and did that ribbing like they do to give it a nice finished edge. I ribbed it. I just went around and just made little indents. And I think I'm making the collar here. I try to keep him in camera so you can see him, but sometimes I pull him up so I can get a better view of what I'm doing. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm adding the collar. So you can tell I'm making the guy a shirt. He deserves a shirt. I'm not going to speed this part up. I am working on his collar. A polo collar is, it's got that V-neck. And then it has the button down in the front. So this is what I'm in the process of. And you see I'm cutting angles for that collar to get it to fit right. And because I want each side to match. So once I've done one side, I need to work on the other one to make it match. So that is what I'm up to. And this, I don't do tutorials because I'm figuring it out as I go. I like showing what I'm doing, and if somebody finds something they can use, that's fine. But I'm not doing tutorials. I'm not that advanced. I've done a lot of sculpts, but they've all been a little bit on the rugged side or rough side. But I try to do as good as I can. And I do watch other sculptors who are more professional and have been at it longer. But sometimes you just have to blend until it looks like one piece. So in the back on that collar, that's what I have to do. And now I'm just making the buttons. You can see I put that strip down the front of that shirt. So I'm just making a couple of buttons to put on there. Those were probably the easiest part of the whole thing. And actually, I was a little afraid they wouldn't be so easy, but they're just tiny little things I just kind of had to work it with my fingers until I got it the right size and the right look, and then I squashed it on. That's what you do, you just squash it on. But if it didn't come out right, I would probably glue it on, but the bakeable adhesive is really more for other things, like when I attach the hands later and stuff. But this shirt is pretty much close to done. We'll put it that way. Pretty much close to done. I'm using that shaper to get in up there under the armpit and get that clay of the shirt to match up and take shape, basically. I searched YouTube and found a tutorial for making hands for beginners, because I'm definitely a beginner. And so that's what I'm doing. I am making his hand. I know I made hands for the school teacher, and I made hands for the goblin, but the school teacher's hands, they ended up, they were kind of at her waist, because that's where I put them. And so they didn't really need to be that shapely, just so I could make them look somewhat like a hand at her waist. And with the goblin, his are kind of monstrous and warty and just clumsy, basically. So I wasn't so worried about that. But with Franky here, Frankenstein, I'm calling him Franky because he's actually the monster. Frankenstein was the doctor that made him. But in the story, it never happened. So I'm shaping the fingers and all of those things, but there's really very little that you can actually see of what I'm doing, because it's fine work. It's small work. And I'm not used to doing it where I could actually get close into the camera and show you exactly what I'm doing. To tell you the truth, dubbing over this was no problem at all, because I was so concentrating, I didn't really just trimming the fingers to make them look like the fingers they are. I could have got a little thicker on this probably and stuff, but they turn out pretty good. And he's glad to have hands. Well, I'm glad he has hands. We'll put it that way. Okay, got that one made. So I'm putting it on, and I'm finding out that I'm going to have to fit it, because you got to take into account how big the arm is that you're going to, or the wrist is that you're going to be attaching to. And so that was a lesson learned. But I did manage to get them to look pretty good. Because when you consider that the arm was already baked and hardened, the changes had to come on the hand and wrist of the hand I had just made. So that's just a little tidbit of something I learned in the process. But that's what's good about it. You can learn as you go. You'll notice, like on the underarms there, I made some like little creases and stuff. I tried to make it look like, where you'd have those natural creases at certain parts. So I'm just going to go ahead and make the other hand, and I won't go through that. I'm just fitting it right now. I learned my lesson, and I need to fit it first. Now comes the fun part, and I think it'll be self-explanatory once I get going. It's time to paint. He's baked with his hands are baked and look pretty good. Shoes I made, I was going to wait till they were he was on the stand to make them, but I decided, no, I'm just going to go ahead and make them. But I didn't get them on today. So, anyway, I talk with my hands a lot, don't I? You can tell I'm talking. I'm getting ready to paint him, and I'm going with Halloween, and that's the way it is. So, have fun watching. I'm just going to let you listen to some music while I speed this up and this guy gets his colors. I found you. I would appreciate, please, we're closing 500. We're over 450 right now. Let's get that 500. So please, if you have not yet subscribed, please do, and click the like or the notification button. Do click the thumbs up as well. And if you hit that notification bell, you'll get notified when I'm online.